Niels going straight for the jump cue. Does have a clear shot of this, straight over the 9. It's a long one. Very interested to see how these two players cope with this, you know, this new pocket size that we're trying out at this year's Dafabet World Pool Masters, because your traditional 9-ball pool player would be more used to the forgiving pocket. And I would class these two as out-and-out 9-ball pool players. Well, that is a lovely shot.
Well, Niels Feijen jumping to it, literally. What a pot that was. He's an exquisite shot maker.
Don't be surprised now if we see players turning down the longer pots and playing safe. Is Niels having a go at this one? He did have a go at it, and he missed it by a long way. And this is the beauty of it, Phil, because when I stood at the table yesterday and had a look, when you're looking down the line of the pot, you can clearly see that is a lot smaller, and that plays tricks with your mind and puts you under pressure. And this is what we need. We want to see the best pool players, the best potters, the best shot makers.
Well, with the second bite of the cherry, Jeffrey De Luna has the 9-ball to draw first blood.
Jeffrey De Luna wins the first rack.
The opening rack was a story of one shot. Niels Feijen had the chance to pinch it. Missed the 7 from distance. It's been a while since we had Filipino success in the World Masters, though. Denis, the last winner in 2010 in Las Vegas. That was at the old Riviera, which now no longer exists.
Look at this, he just gets the cue ball flying around the table at ease. And he's slightly over it, that one, so he might have to do something else. He doesn't have to get this cue ball moving where you feel like the 4-ball needs to hit. You kind of pretend the 4-ball is the cue ball.
Extension called.
And he'll just be looking in the distance. He'll try and find something maybe on the table, even, you know, outside the arena. It could be the cameraman or where the wheel is, and just really focus on that point and try and deliver the cue through straight. This is a big shot. And it's forced a mistake. Wasn't easy.
And the cueing there was noticeably less smooth than it has been before.
So Niels is just going to lock Jeffrey up behind this 8-ball. Love to get the cue ball touching. If it's touching the 8, he might not be able to get through the gap, but just looking at where Jeffrey's put his cue, he can get through the gap in between the purple 5 and the 9-ball. He'll be playing these 2 rails. Could even pop the 4 in the bottom left. But the main aim is to try and hit on top of the 4 and just create some distance.
Foul shot.
Well, maybe the main aim is to just
Foul
hit the ball.
Well, what a gift this is. All the balls in the open.
And start the clock.
Surely Feijen is about to open his account.
So this is an early tester.
Well, there was somewhat of a hard-stopping delay there as the 1-ball caught the jaw. Thought about staying on the table, but just about went in.
Yeah, the balls are brand new, the cloth's brand new, so you're going to get that extra slide as he overcuts the 2-ball.
And we have to repeatedly make this point in events gone by, Niels Feijen would have potted that too, Cole. That ball would have been in.
Look at his back leg. Should be a gymnast, not a pool player.
Let me tell you, if I did that, I'd be down the local A&E. What a move that was.
Jeffrey De Luna wins the rack.
So, 3-1 to Jeffrey De Luna. They were missing on the narrow side.
Big mistake there from Niels. The 9 ball was always going to come into play. And he's not caught that one how he would wish. And he's left Jeffrey a long pot here. Position for the 2 looks very automatic, so you can just focus on the pot.
Come on, Jeff.
Completely overspun the cue ball there. Didn't really need to do that. He could have landed anywhere near the bottom of the table. He would have a shot on the 2.
Now, did you see that little exchange there? Basically, he was rooted to the spot, was De Luna, at the table. Couldn't quite believe he'd missed it, and in the end, Marcel Eckhart, the referee, had to sort of move him out of the way. Come on, Jeffrey, he said, and then he looked up and realised it wasn't his turn at the table anymore, and he needed to vacate that space.
The cue ball jumps over the ball and lands on the slate. Well, there's no room, so this has got to hit the 3. This is fraught with danger. The ball can often fly off the table.
Foul shot. Ball in it.
Well, it's a good job there's the barrier around the table, because that cue ball could have ended up in Spain.
Start the clock, please.
Nine ball's close. The 9 ball's close and it's in. It's a golden break. The timing of that is absolutely perfect for Niels Feijen.
What a way to hit the front, Cole. So that's 2 sessions, 2 golden breaks already. And the pink 4 ball did the damage. The 9 there was stuck in the middle of the table. And then the 4 came across and said, "You are destined for the pocket." You might say that he's probably been on more hills than any living Dutchman.
Do you just have a book of one-liners, Phil?
It's a pamphlet, actually. Just keep recycling them.
It's fine.
Niels Feijen on the hill. That's 5 racks on the trot for him.
Well, he's overcut it. He'd have just loved the cue ball to come over that little bit more, and the test of the new 4-inch pocket has paid off for Jeffrey De Luna. If there's one thing that I've noticed about Niels, that type of shot, Phil, he overcuts it a lot, doesn't he?
Bang on. He missed a 2 ball similar to that in rack 4 to the same pocket by overcutting.
Now, he's been
Extension, please.
fortunate not to leave a pot. However, if you were sat where Jeffrey De Luna was, you're just pleased to get out the chair. Now, is he going to go 2 rails behind it, or is he going to go 1 rail and play it thin for distance? He's playing 2 rails to kick the 8 up table. This is where it's crucial with these 4-inch pockets, because you've got distance. Niels knows he's got to put a good stroke on this. You're not going to cue this bad and pot the 8 ball.
And he missed a very similar 7 ball, didn't he, early in the contest to this same pocket. He caught that one too thick.
That was a great shot. This is perfect for the 9. Just a little bounce. Job well done. It took him 2 tries on the 8 ball, but that wasn't easy. And he's got this 9 ball for the match.
It's fine.
One mistake on the 8 ball, yes, but the second attempt under pressure, that's got to be considered one of the shots of the tournament so far. Niels Feijen was 3-1 down, but he has beaten Jeffrey De Luna by 7 racks to 3, and now Jason Shaw awaits in the last 16.
Yeah, Kristina recently has been spending a lot of time in America travelling around. And during that time, she's been putting in 12 to 14 hours a day playing in matches. So she's quite a match-fit player.
Wow, 12 to 14 hours. Can you imagine that now, Ali, for us, eh?
Not really. Nicely done by Mieszko, running out that first rack.
It's a dream come true when you first start, I think, so I'm very honoured of that.
Another terrific break from Mieszko here.
Yeah, these balls have come out pretty again, haven't they? It was nicely controlled. The cue ball is roughly in the centre of the table, and that's given him a good shot. Well, he didn't mean to bump into the 6 ball there, so it's gone a little bit wrong. Cue ball's near the rail now.
Yeah, you could see a little bit of frustration on his face there. Just meant to hit a little bit lower on the cue ball to
Extension,
avoid
please.
that. So now he's using his 30-second extension because this is the tough ball of the rack.
And he's missed it by a long way. And he's left the pot. I think she can just get through to the angle.
There we can see another view of cueing from the rail. Never an easy.
Now she's got to be a little bit careful here. She doesn't want to pop this and then the cue ball go near the rail. So she'll probably just either take a medicine or play it harder to play off the second rail. So she wants it to bounce, and that's fine. That's job well done.
That was a really nice shot there. She made that look a little easier than it was there. She's very composed. You know, I like her composure at the table. And her technique, she has that hesitation at the back of the stroke, which you don't see with many pool players out there.
That's nice to see. Kristina Tkach gets her first rack of this match on the board. Yeah, simple safety shot there from Mieszko. So Kristina's just got to make sure she makes a nice contact on this ball. Could go close to potting it.
That was a really nice attempt there.
Yeah, the cue ball nearly spun back in behind that 4 ball. So he does have a pot of this, but he's not nowhere
Foul.
near how he wanted, and he's even scrapped. So ball in hand for Kristina.
Start the clock, please.
If you just look at the bottom of the table of where the purple 5 is and the green 6, that's going to cause some issues.
I was a little bit surprised that she didn't come up and play it into the bottom corner, but maybe they weren't the right angle for that shot.
Yeah, it was just too much angle, that was the problem, and the pot was always going to be very, very difficult. So the mistake, now you see it just caught the rail before the centre, and that's never going to go in.
Or maybe 1 ounce. But it's, I don't know, just gives a better balance for me and that little extra power. So.
And we see Kristina back at the table, about to run out this rack. And I'm sure we'll see a little look of relief when she makes the 8 and 9 ball.
Yeah, very interesting really, because the previous rack she had a chance, so she'd have took that chance. And then this chance, this match could have been 4-3, so she's still in there. And she's got the rack. That's the main thing. Obviously it's going to be her break, winner breaks, we keep saying that. And it's not been very successful. Decided to draw the cue ball back off the rail, which meant he could put a more positive stroke on it, and then the 9 disappears and Mieszko is on the hill.
He just landed slightly the wrong side of the 4 there, put a lot of spin on it, but it didn't really grab that much. And that just makes that 5 a little bit more tricky.
That's the difference right there. That would have gone in on any other pool table. That is why we need 4-inch pockets on the TV table. That goes in anywhere. And let's not forget, it's brand new balls, brand new cloth. Yeah, just a few misses have creeped into the game of Kristina Tkach, and it's a shame because she started off and she looked okay in the balls, and just I think it's got to her a little bit, and that is a shame because it was a chance to stay in this match.
The tight pockets can get in your head. Few mistakes, few close misses.
So that 9 ball, Fortunski is into the next round. That's unfortunate for Kristina Tkach. She looks a little bit upset with herself. But Fortunski, well, he's a happy man. You are through to the next round.
Realises that that's the key shot of the entire rack. Sometimes it's needed to figure out an escape from a snooker or something like that, but generally speaking, it's used on what they view as the pivotal shot of the rack. Just a tad short of pace, Grabe there. Still can't imagine he's going to miss the 9 ball. So, Denis Grabe sends out an early message, and talking of which,
I ran out. So I learned quickly that I need to get a jump cue and learn how to do that.
I think it's called a rude awakening.
Absolutely. But I do love this part of the game, and we're going to see Roberto play a nice jump shot. Went for the 9-ball and made it. What a great shot.
A jump 2-9 combination, and with that, Roberto Gomez spectacularly draws level at 1 rack each. That was a cracker, wasn't it?
Oh, it's great to see. And like I said, it is a very nice skill set in itself to be able to jump the ball and control the cue ball. Many players in the game don't like that fact of the jump shot, but here we take another look at it. And I think it adds a little bit of beauty to the game. To try and make it a 2-1 lead.
He came so close to what would have been a totally needless in-off.
Wow, I can't believe that. He just caught that 8-ball a little bit thicker than planned. And did you see Denis's face in the background? Just a wry smile there.
What relief for Roberto Gomez. Could have sold that rack so easily, but the cue ball just about stayed on the table. Definitely vindicated now, Alison.
Yes, absolutely. Look at how he controlled the 2-ball there. He made the 7-ball with a carom and hit it hard enough to send the 2 back over to the corner pocket. Let's take another look at that. Beautifully played.
And both of these two players will fancy their chances from here. It is Denis Grabe 3, Roberto Gomez 3.
And that is a perfect break. Obviously, he didn't want the 4-ball, the pink 4-ball, he was tied up on the 8-ball there. You could see his smile. Bit of frustration with that. Nevertheless, he's at the table and in control.
But yeah, it's nice to see you too. Even in the commentary box here. Nice.
Oh, what a jump shot that was, because the contact had to be so fine. That was terrific. And bear in mind, he's already pulled off one really spectacular jump, a 2-9 combination to win the second rack.
A result from my country, it's even like double the result from the bigger countries, because we don't have much good players in my pool. I don't know, like it's different when you have 7-8 players good, then you can always play top A game. But yeah, anyway.
Totally unlike the Philippines, where there are countless good players. Now there...
And you have to have perfect mechanics when you're playing on tighter pockets. And he had that mistake in the last rack on the 3-ball, and then again in this rack.
That was close.
Plenty of seconds left to compose himself.
That's great.
And against the head, Denis Grabe grabs the lead at 5-4. It's a match full of mistakes.
When you don't have extension, it's kind of tough. Every second is important. Sometimes, nice show that one. Sometimes I lose some seconds on some thinking, and I couldn't focus on my stroke, and it's but I like it. I like this extension thing.
I love that shot that Roberto just played on the 2-ball. He had a really thin hit and then clipped off the 8-ball to get position on the pink 4, and he's just played another really good shot because he landed a little bit straight on that 4. where he's put a lot of less spin on the cue ball.
Well, purely and simply, the shoulder came into that shot far too much to give him any chance of being accurate in terms of straight shooting.
Yeah, he had a little bit of movement when he hits the ball, but if you look to the elbow from where we were looking there, behind him, there's slight movement in his body when he shoots. And faced with these tight pockets, you're not going to get away with it.
I'm sure Denis Grabe, I was going to say, can't believe his luck. It's not luck. I'm sure he can't believe that Gomez has made so many errors. You must be thinking, Sanyan, that you wish Chris Melling had made as many as this.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I was thinking it
And
right
it's great.
now.
When's the red?
Actually, I didn't have many chances. We didn't make many mistakes.
In the extreme.
I like to. I watch a technique of players, and you can see his back wrist is moving out when he shoots. Well, that was a very, very poor safety shot there from Denis.
Yeah, Denis lost his nerves a bit of the wreck before.
It's very tough when you see that opportunity dwindle, and now you're back at the table and you start to make mistakes. It's like you've been given the chance, and if you don't take it, it's like the balls punish you.
Yeah, now Roberto made a great shot. And I just figure out, like, I had many hill matches, and when you're breaking your hill game, just need. I many times had a scratches, and I wanted to make it perfect, but just make the ball and have a shot. Don't try to make anything perfect or anything more speed. Here's tough shot right now. That was a nice one.
That was a tremendous shot, wasn't it?
And that's the kind of imagination you expect from the Filipinos.
Yeah, I didn't see this shot coming.
Will there be one more twist?
That was nice.
That was actually a really good shot under the circumstance, I think.
Yeah, I think that was the key shot.
And when the 9 ball is like this, what a warm feeling inside will be coming all over Denis Grabe right now. What a test he has passed. It was staccato pool. There's no doubt about that. It wasn't the highest quality, but in the end, it was the most dramatic match we've seen. But Melling not phased. Basically just a typical Chris Melling rack. Two kinds of extensions, one where a player uses them to compose himself, the other one where they're not quite sure what to do. Melling pushed out the boat. And it's run aground.
Yeah, it was very dangerous, but he is a very attacking player.
Restart the clock,
Likes
please.
to go for his shots. Obviously, hindsight's a wonderful thing.
It's a very appropriate surname. He fills up pockets. So there it is. In no time at all, Joshua Filler overturns a 1-0 deficit to lead 2-1.
Can play off it thin and get the cue ball all the way down the table though. Trying to use that 9 as a target. That looks perfect.
This afternoon, Carl, dry breaks have been in very short supply. And yet, time and time again, when a player has wanted to drop on the 1 or the lowest number still on the table, it's just not happened. That's why we haven't seen too many break-in run-outs.
Yeah, and also the last match between Denis and Roberto
Extension, please.
turned into a bit of a dogfight out there because the ball was coming out quite awkward, and when one missed or played a kick shot, kind of got away with it, and that's just the nature of pool.
Foul. Illegal contact.
That's unlike Chris Melling, very good kicker of the ball. Just clips the 2 ball, and that's ball in hand for the young German.
Tkach, please.
And that's normally the signal for...
This is a tricky one though. If you catch any point of that jaw, I think it will stay up on this table. But he is Joshua Filler, and he doesn't really hit the jaw. And it's the speed that he does it with as well. He just gets on with it. Yeah, he didn't quite get into that as much as he would have liked, so it went near the centre. But he just fires it in the pocket, and now he's got this 9 ball for a 4-1 lead.
He's looking ominous, is Joshua Filler, coming off that World Cup win with his partner Christoph Reichers.
He can come into this event
in favour of Mr. Filler.
with a lot of
Mr.
confidence
Filler, you break.
and a lot of money. Yeah, this cup break is... This is working a treat. He's purposely playing the cup break to tee the 1 ball up over the far right corner. And I think other players watching might be making a few notes. Awkward cueing. Chris taps on his knee because he knew that was a very difficult shot.
Now then, Melling has hope. Because he's more than capable of getting on a roll, the likes of which we've just seen from Filler.
Yeah, the fact that these pockets have been shimmed up just meant Joshua had to be a little bit more clinical on that 3 ball, and to be honest, Phil, it's nice to see, because this could just create this little bit of a chance and a bit of drama that Chris Melling needs. He wins his 2nd rack. Top rail, which means after potting the 1, the cue ball has a chance of coming down table. He hit it too full, and the problem with that is he's followed it
Start the clock, please.
into the same pocket.
And with the disappearance of that cue ball, have the hopes of Chris Melling disappeared.
So good at the table until this missed 3 ball, and now this has been a bit scrappy, and it continues. So Chris Melling is back at the table. This is interesting moments, this.
Just fractionally caught too much of the jaw.
Will tell us all we need to know.
And on cue, there is the grimace.
So he's got to be careful he doesn't scratch. I could see a bit. I think he might have jumped over the edge of the 9 there. I'm not too sure. First glance, I thought he was swerving the ball. 6. Probably go 3 rails, try and play the 7 in the same pocket. Needs this cue ball to slow down. This looks good. It's very good indeed. There you see, we've got a wonderful view of this 7 ball. And he's fired it in the pocket. It's game on from nowhere. Just these 2 balls. And he'll be 1 rack behind.
And you can trace Filler's problems back to the missed 3 ball when he was free-flowing at 5-1. 5-1 is a distant memory. It's now only 5-4. Enjoying a second wind.
Yeah, and that positional shot there looks perfect for Chris. We'll be playing the 9 in the same pocket as the 8. And from nowhere, this match is 5-5.
Indeed, we started out as the best of 13. Now that's been distilled down to the best of 3.
Extension, please.
Yep, he's playing this in the side pocket. Cue ball. We have 4 rails. Yeah, he's not that good. I think he's signalling for a bad contact. We'll give Chris the benefit of the doubt there until we see the replay.
I tell you what, he must be overjoyed that went in. We've seen pots, actually more accurate than that, stay out. When is a pot to an intended pocket actually a fluke? Well, maybe there, because Filler was so close to leaving the 7 ball on the table, but it just about fell in.
And the 4-inch pocket right at the end has made a big difference. From that angle, when the ball is in the centre of the table, you just can't afford to hit the rail. Here you see, just flicks the left-hand rail and it won't go in from that angle.
And that wasn't a skid. That was entirely Melling's own fault.
Extension, please.
Now, this has not been his friend, this pocket, in this match, so he's just taking a bit more time. This 6 ball looks like it's the key shot, Phil, of this rack and this match. If he pockets this, he will be on the 7 ball. All he needs now is a nice angle on the 8 And the cue ball will naturally float over for the 9. And it's been a good match. It's been an exciting match, but it's just a shame the way this match has ended. Looked like it was going to go hill, and that missed 4 ball could have cost Melling his place in this tournament.
This is it. Joshua Filler, his prevailing emotion will be one of relief. Up to 5-1, that was Filler at his best, but then he missed a 3 ball down the side rail. Everything changed, and at 5-5, well, you gave Melling a really good chance to go through.